Blessed afternoon, collective. Oh, I want to try to pull cards. I want to pull cards. I'm so nervous. I feel so nervous. It's been like almost 2 weeks since I've done this, and honestly, I'm just in it. I have been in it. I am still in it. It is everything that I can do. It is taking up my whole field of view to simply exist right now, to just be with all of the emotion that is arising, because there's just no end to it. There's so much of it. And it's been hard to focus on anything other than that. And I am trying not to make myself do things that aren't coming naturally to me, to actually just allow this to be what it is. There's a part of the brain that is definitely saying, go do things that you did, things that are normal, part of the routine, but it's not working. And there's the awareness too that routine is a rigidity, that's trying to force myself to keep something up. That's not how this works. That's not how energy works. If I'm really honest about going with the flow of the energy, even though the mind is saying do something, the soul is just saying, nah, this is it. This is what we're doing right now. We're doing this. We're feeling everything continuously and just experiencing and examining and watching this. But I do have a desire to pull cards, and maybe there's definitely a part of it that's born out of fear of, oh, if I go too long, what am I going to do? I'm not going to know. I'm not going to know how to do it. I'm not going to know what I'm doing. I've never known what I'm doing. That's kind of the point. I don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing with anything, ever. It's all just feeling. It's all just feeling and expressing and interpreting and articulating feeling. That's it. That's the entirety of not just this channel, but my existence. Feeling in the moment, examining, processing, expressing, articulating that continuously as it happens. That's it. That's all I know. And I don't even know how to do that. I just keep trying to allow it to happen. It's like there's just more and more sensation. I'm feeling again very much like I mentioned this when I had that EEG, but it's been like continuous like this of just, okay, there's more. We're just gonna keep breathing. It's not stopping. So we just keep breathing, and this is becoming almost the normal now. Oh, Jesus Christ. That scared me. Hang on. Hi, everybody. Why? It's not. That was on pause. I don't know what that... nothing is coincidence. I don't know what that's supposed to say. Other than it's just one stimuli after the other, and it is this feeling of... we're just going to keep breathing. We're just going to keep expanding, because this isn't stopping. This is not stopping. We're going. We're still going. This is what it is now. Is this. It's like the ride is moving, and it's not going to stop moving. We're on this ride, and it doesn't have an end. There are certainly moments of less sensation versus greater sensation, but oh, that detached place of peace that I was so good at accessing, it doesn't feel so good. It's harder to get to, and it doesn't feel so good. It feels, well, removed. It's like, I want to be here. I want to be in this experience. I want to be fully in this. This is not nothing. This is everything. And I want to be in it. I want to be experiencing it fully. Right now, this is presence. It's full. It's continuously moving and shifting and increasing and expanding, and I feel like I'm being stretched. I feel that happening. It's just what it feels like, energetically, internally, emotionally. It is just this sensation of continuous slight tension, just this repeated tension, release, we just keep breathing. It is like everything I can do to just keep breathing right now. And it's the best thing ever. It's the best fucking thing. It is everything that I want. It feels like, and I have no frame of reference for this, but it feels like a long, drawn out sort of birth, like a long labor. Like this is being in a very slow process of labor. That gets a little more intense, and then it like calms down a little bit, but we're here, and this is what it is. This process is happening. It's just surrender to the process. That's all we can do. There's no timetable on this. It's gonna be what it is. It's gonna take as long as it takes. It's gonna develop in the way that it does. It's gonna shift and move and just be what it is. So I'm here in it. I am here in it, just breathing and breathing and breathing. It's been hard to meditate. It's been hard to I can't meditate the way that I have. I can't. This is filling my view. What is this? This is the experience of everything that's been since starting this new relationship, new adventure. It's hard to even... This is someone that I've known for over a year. I don't want to go into the whole... I want to pull cards. It's just beyond description. And it's brought up so much emotion, like the entire spectrum of emotion at once. Is what it feels like. Every single emotion at the same time. And then just expanding too, like adding to it, like how can we're feeling both sides more deeply. Everything is intensifying. We're expanding the spectrum of experience. Everything is being added to in dimension. It's just getting bigger. It's like sensation is increasing in definition. It's like if I were a TV that was experiencing itself moving from 1080p to 4K. That's the best analogy I've got. If I were conscious of that process of just, oh my God, everything is getting sharper and clearer and more intense, and there's more detail, and it's more vibrant and beautiful, and I'm just breathing. I'm just letting this happen. Haven't paid any attention to the astrology. I don't even know when the next moon is or what it's in. I don't know. I'm not keeping up with the Steve's Love Tarot, which was like, I was on that shit. I'm just here. I'm just existing. I am back in this world, back in my body in a way that I have not been. And I just want to be here. I just want to be here in this, feeling this exactly as it is, just allowing it to be what it wants to be. Every single moment is just, okay, you show me. Show me what you want to be moment. What wants to come through me? What wants to be felt? What is? What can I witness and appreciate that this is the moment? This is right now. And it's like this influx of all kinds of energy just pushing and increasing, and things are shifting and moving. It's like I'm being adjusted, and you're just at the whim. I'm at the whim of the process of everything that's happening. It's like there's all kinds of components being moved around internally. Like I am the bionic man or something, and I'm being calibrated. There's things being removed from me, and more space is opening up, and it's like I can feel, it feels like an upgrade, whatever that word means. Or if I were, a computer, it's just as many things as I can think of, with my components being removed and replaced with new ones, with improved ones. And all of the emotions that go along with that, all of the sensation. There's tickling and tingling and stinging and pinching, and just, okay. That's going too. Yep, that part. Okay. Yeah, all of that. Oh, that's coming in now? Okay, that's coming in. Okay. All right, here we are. Here we go. We're still here. We're just doing this. Oh. Mercy me. All right. We're being upgraded. That is what is happening collectively. It's not just happening to me energetically. There's this massive, it's more and more. The veil is getting thinner and thinner. It's not thickening again. That means that the influx of high vibrational energy, of source energy, of love energy, angelic frequency, whatever you want to call it, it's intensifying. It's increasing in both amount, volume, and amplitude, intensity. And it feels like vibrating. It feels like things are being shaken loose. That is that process. And I just want to say, surrender to the process. Everything is happening exactly the way that it's supposed to be. Exactly. For the very best. There's nothing to do here but breathe and move with it and trust it. Again and again and again. Just repeatedly surrendering. We are being expanded in a big way. Reality is shifting in a huge way. These are major shifts. This is not small potatoes. This is not the shift of somebody. I just saw a blue car. I've been seeing so many blue cars since I started that. Bright ones, bright blue cars, like not just navy, anyway. These are not the shifts of, oh, you are making $1 more on your paycheck, or you finally get that parking space that you've been trying to get. I don't even know what to compare it to. This is massive. And what I mean is desire. The more of us acknowledge desire and the role of it and the power of it and allow it to be and to be felt, the more that stuff we're actually allowing in. We are shifting not just to our own truest timeline. That's what I want to say. Highest is a word, and it's not an incorrect word, but it can be kind of equated with best, and I don't feel that that's at least what I want to express it as. It's just the truest. It's the most actual, the most real. The lower timelines are the ones that are out of alignment with the truth, with what you're actually experiencing, what you're actually living. Every desire that you've ever felt, you felt because you received that. Because that thing is yours. You received that desire because your highest self, because your true self, was living and experiencing the actual manifested, fully physically manifested version of that desire. And you kind of like, you're downstream. We're downstream here. We're sort of in the past. This is so hard to explain. There's no past and future necessarily, but dimensionally, right? By the time that you actually consciously receive a desire and you become aware of it, what that means is your reception of that feeling of desire, when you recognize that you want something and you feel it, that means you already have it. That means it's yours. That thing was already created. You created that. It's done. You received it. And now your feeling of that desire for that thing is your indication from yourself, hey, we did this. We did this thing. Check out what's coming. Check out what's coming to you. That's what it's a heads up from your friend upstream, the rest of yourself, which has the highest perspective and is already living that experience, signaling to you by your feeling of desire for the thing, yeah, you got that. You made that, you got it, it's yours. We're having a great time with it. We're having a blast. You're going to have a blast too. In fact, we're already on to the next thing. We're on to the thing after the thing. We received this, the experiences of this generated more desire. That's where we are. We're already on to the next desire. It's already fully formed. So by the time that you receive that feeling of desire for something, the thing that lights you up, that goes, oh, I really want that. And it's that simple. It is that simple. It feels good. You can also feel it as the opposite of frustration. If there's something that is frustrating you or that frightens you or scares you or makes you angry or sad, what's that pointing to? What are you feeling the lack of? You're just facing the wrong direction. That's pointing to a desire. Refocus on the desire. Where can I turn my head here and say, oh, I don't like this, which means I like this. Then you've tapped into that feeling of desire. Let yourself feel it and know the feeling of that desire, which you've just been blocking out the communication. And that's okay. We're learning how to do this. That's what we're doing. We're learning how to be divine deliberate creators, how to find our guidance from any place, from any position, anywhere in here. Wherever we are in the emotional spectrum and the internal experience, we're learning how to shift from that to what am I actually being told here about my desire? Because that's the crux of it. It all hinges on desire. That's how creation happens. Creation would not happen without desire. So we're learning more and more how to integrate every single experience, whatever's happening. What am I feeling? What is that telling me about my desire in this moment? Let me shift my perspective to feel into that and allow that desire to be born into me, through me, fully, to embrace that as actually the core, actually the foundation of the rest of this moment. The rest of this moment exists, everything, all of the frustration, the pain, the whatever, exists to tell me about my desire. It's all built on top of that. Let me distill it back to this purest version, this thing that is what myself is trying to get me to focus on and to communicate to me. Now look, the stimuli, response, result. The result is, where has your desire gone? Where has it moved? How has it expanded? How has it gained detail and clarity? All of this stuff is pointing to this, is pointing to the desire. You had the contrast, you had whatever experience it is, you had the internal response. The result is how your desire has shifted. Look there. That's where you want to look. That's where it is. That's what it's all about. Now, let everything shift your focus to the desire and let it fill in. Say, okay, what do I know now? Ask yourself, what do I now feel? What greater detail do I have about desire? What is it that I want, that I know more about or know it all about as a result of this experience? And it doesn't need to, it will fill in the detail itself. It doesn't need to be detailed. Let it be the pure emotional component. Something like, I like peace. I want peace. I want to feel good. I want to feel my freedom. I want to feel my security. I want to feel accepted and a sense of belonging. Let it start there. Let it start there. You don't need to add anything to that. And just keep feeling into it. And let every moment inform your desire in a new way. And it can be things as simple as last night. I was trying to get this fireplace lit. It's a gas fireplace. You got to twist the little knob and do the pilot light and all of that shit. And it's always been a little finicky. Sometimes the knob gets stuck in the off position, and then you can't get it into the pilot spot. And that happened. I had almost gotten it to work, and then I decided to turn it off, and the knob got stuck. And I was frustrated and just wrestling with it, thinking I don't want to force it, but I want to force it because I want this to work. I want this to work. And I was in that moment of such frustration. And then I had the light bulb of, I want this to work. What is my frustration with this telling me? That I really want this to work. I really want the fireplace to function. I really want this knob to loosen. And because I want it, that means it's already happened. It's actually already happened. So I have nothing to worry about here. It's, it works. It does work. It already works. Let that be my guide. I breathed into that for maybe 15, 20 seconds. And I moved the knob and it worked. And it blew my mind. I mean, I was sitting there going, yes, this is it. This is how it works. I'm starting to understand this now. Whatever feeling you have, you let that refocus you on your desire. You let it sharpen your focus on the desire. And then you realize whatever that desire is, you feel it because it's already happened. And then there's nothing to be frustrated about. You just go, oh, it works. And then it works. I'm practicing this. Still haven't pulled cards. They're sitting in front of me and I'm going, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I still, look, I'm all over the place, clearly. I'm madly in love. Can I just say that? That's what this is. I am absolutely, utterly, mind-bogglingly, because the mind can't comprehend it, and we're just chucking that out the window. I am crazy in love. And it's just beautiful and perfect, and I'm basking in every moment of it. And it's fucking terrifying. Continuously. And amazing. It is like...
The King Supers app, you have easy access to savings every day. Get the most out of weekly sales and receive personalized coupons to save on your feet.
Enough of that, please. It's like being on a roller coaster is what I was gonna say, and being strapped into this roller coaster. Like every moment is different. There's a new turn and a new bump, and I know it's gonna be this. This is the ride we're on now. and we're strapped in. There's no getting off of this ride. I mean, whew. But yeah, it's taken up everything. It's all consuming, and I'm allowing it to be, because everything, the mind is going, oh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. And then immediately that triggers an awareness of there's nothing dangerous. There's literally nothing is dangerous in this world. What is the mind placing a limit on? There's a limit here. The mind is calling something dangerous because there's a limit for me to move past, for me to surrender entirely, to release, to flow around. Because the love of self is reckless. The love of self is total. It's bigger than anything the mind can grasp. So of course the mind is afraid of it, because it has no power there. So I'm just gonna love bigger and bigger, more and more boldly, more and more authentically. Even feeling the fear, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna know that fear's not telling me anything of real value other than, hey, I have a chance to keep expanding. I have a chance to do more, to go bigger. So that's what it is. I created this. We created this. She and I created this together. But my God, did I ask? Have I been asking for this entire lifetime, for more than this lifetime, but certainly specifically this one, and specifically in the past year. It's just been a matter of allowing it in, of coming to that place within myself, of realizing how this works, that I'm worthy now, that I'm ready now, that the moment I receive a desire, I'm ready. That desire is ready for me, and I'm ready for it. That's why I felt the desire in such detail. There's been increasing clarity. I wanted to be really clear. That was a desire too. I wanted to be really clear on what it was that I wanted, on the feeling. So there was more and more added to it. And now it's crystal. It is abundantly clear. And only more so. That's a part of the desire too, is that I wanted to keep getting clearer how much I love this. How much I love this person, this soul, this experience. How much this is it. This is this is everything. Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to pull cards? I don't know what I'm pulling cards on. I haven't reshuffled. I'm 30 minutes in. I would be shocked. Change. Communication. Communication. Change. Fast moving energy. Fast moving energy. Let it rip through you. I didn't reshuffle this from the last time because this felt pertinent and I wanted to save it. The soul is leading us out of fear. It's leading us to something great. We just gotta trust it. Everything that's being dropped right now is being dropped for a reason. We are being readjusted. We are being rebalanced. The energy is balancing around us and within us. And it feels weird. It feels strange. There's a tension to it. There's this propensity to kind of go, oh, I don't know, it's not the way it used to be, and I don't like that. It's scary. It's unfamiliar. It just feels weird. It's all good. It is all for a good reason. The best reason. It's all in support of ourselves. We are being upgraded to the new version. I don't know how to express that. Well, I'm taken back to World of Warcraft, which I used to play quite a lot. And pretty rarely, but every so often, they would upgrade the skills, your skill set. So you have a class and whatever, and the way that you spec your class, you design your skill sheet, gives you different abilities and this and that. And you gain more as you level up. But every so often, they would redesign that. They would just rework the entire skill tree. Some things would be removed, some things would be added, things would be tweaked. And then it would be like a whole new experience now. Playing this character is different than it ever was, because now the way things work is not the same. The way that my abilities work, how powerful they are, the way I access them, they link together, whatever. You just, now this character that you're so familiar with playing, suddenly it's not the same character anymore. There's different stuff underneath. And so your experience with it is like, oh, whoa, this is all kind of, it's like sort of familiar, but it's not. It's different. That's what's happening. Yeah, there's Devil's Tower. I do remember that from Steve's Love Tarot. Yeah, we're being cleared out. It's like a flush of toxins. It's a reduction of the ego energy so that the true soul level confidence can rise, because we're being taken somewhere new. We are being taken. We're being led somewhere new. We're here. That's just what it is. We're somewhere new. Kind of like if you stepped outside your house one day and you were just in a different country or on a different planet. Maybe it feels a little more like that. Like your entire house was just transplanted. You didn't think anything was going on. Maybe there was some shaking and some weird noises and you're kind of curious, but I don't know. You just went with it, and then you open the door and the sky is purple and the ground is blue, and this is just what it is now. This is where you are now. Trust the process. Yeah, we're going on a journey. We are being taken on a journey, like scooped up and placed. Things are balancing. Things are not just coming to a resolution, but I am still getting that like increased resolution. Things are becoming clearer, more refined and defined and calibrated, more finely tuned, more finely calibrated. Yeah. We're becoming more sensitive so that we can feel higher dimensionality in more detail. That's how this works. You refine your energy, you refine your perception, expanding consciousness, and you sense more things. The sensory experience becomes richer and richer as more and more dimension is revealed to you. And there is infinite dimension. So we're going to keep going with this. Okay. Why am I here? What's going on? I'm here to have fun. I got that powerfully. To have fun. Oh, to enjoy this. To drop a shitload of cards. Hang on. Is that upside down? I got a Knight of Cups and an Ace of Cups. That's not what fell out, though. We're here to have fun. For the joyful journey. Communication. 8 of Wands and that Ace of Swords. I almost couldn't say it. The truth is being revealed. Again, I feel this powerfully within. It's going to reflect without. There's a lot coming out. Everything is coming to the surface. It's just, it's bubbling up. It is, like if you've ever seen iron ore being extracted, and so you're superheating this pile of kind of chunks of stuff, right? There's all kinds of other stuff there in the matrix of the rock, but you're trying to extract the ore, and so everything's getting hot and it's melting and it's sort of mixing together, but it's separating. And what's being left behind is the truth. Everything else is being scooped off. The truth of what we really want. The truth of what it is we really desire. The truth of how we've been denying that desire and recreating things that really are uninspired and don't do anything for us and have just been ego-based. We've just been creating them by default because we thought it was what we were supposed to do. We thought it was what we were supposed to do. It's not what we wanted. It was never what we wanted. We're starting to recognize how those things are unwanted, and in their unwantedness, they're pointing us to the wanted. And now we're shifting focus on that. We're shifting focus to the wanted. The more we look at that, the more powerfully we call that in, because it's already happened. We just have to realize it. That's it. It can't happen until you realize that, then it's there. Then it shows up. It was already there. You just didn't see it because you hadn't realized it within. Yeah, you just didn't see it. It's time for stuff to come in. And the way it comes in is by our shifting of perspective, by looking at this differently, by recognizing nothing's gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. Everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to. How do I allow this moment and everything within it to inform me about my desire? My fruits are here. I've planted good fruit. And I know that. I just have to find it. I just have to let everything else shift me into the place of becoming aware of it. Where are my fruits? I allow them to arise within by my feeling of desire. Once I recognize that, once I tap into that space, I know they're there. I know they're real. I know they can't not pop into my experience. They have to. By the laws of physics, literally. They have to. Higher vibrational, energetic physics, higher dimensional physics, they're laws. They apply always. By my recognition, by allowing myself to be pointed in the direction of my desire and focusing on that and feeling that and knowing what it means, realizing that means that this exists and it can't miss me and I can't miss it. I'm ready for it now. It's ready for me. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to sweat. In fact, I'm going to move on now to my next desire. I'm going to appreciate that I birthed something with desire. I created it and I received it. And now, where else do I go? Now what? I'm satisfied and eager for more. Where's my next desire? What other avenues does this take? It's time. It's time for us to get this, for us to practice deliberate creation, for us to get real about what it is that we desire, not what it is we think we want because it felt safe, because other people told us that's what people want. This is what people want, so therefore I guess I want it because people somewhere want this, apparently. Do they even really? It's fine if they do. They're allowed to. That's fine. I believe that that's possible, but also, is it what I want? Just because somebody somewhere wants that? Lots of people love Rocky Road. They're allowed to. I don't. I don't like Rocky Road. Never have enjoyed it. Just not, for whatever reason, not my cup of ice cream tea. So that's fine. Other people get to love Rocky Road. I get to come up with something else. I get to want what I want. And I get to receive it, actually. Oh, I just remembered I made tea. Completely forgot it on the counter. Oh well. Guess I didn't want that tea that bad. Maybe I wanted it cold. Alright, what are we talking about here? This is wide open. All that shuffling, you saw it. All of that shuffling, it just came back. It's time to harvest. It's harvest time. This is harvest time energy. We harvest by shifting the perspective to realize that the harvest has happened already. But it is harvest time. Yeah. It's go time. Action. Action. Go time. It's coming it's coming in. The ships are here. See them. Realize that they're here and they appear. That's the only step that's missing. We talked about how to get there. Recognizing, letting everything lead you to desire, and then focusing on that desire. What is it that I feel? What is it that I want? Because now I know I received that. I want it because I received it. I want it because it's mine. I couldn't want it if I didn't have it already. You couldn't want it if you didn't already have it. Literally. That's what that means. Realize that's what that means. And then focus on that feeling of the desire and let it manifest fully through you and go, oh my God, this is mine. This is mine. That's so fucking cool. Yeah, I made this. This is mine. This belongs to me. This delicious experience, I get to have this. And now I'm just like looking forward to it. It's done. In fact, I'm experiencing it right now. I'm on to the next thing. So now I got that. So, man, that's going to be great. And I'm going to find, all of this other stuff is going to come to me from that. All this other desire, that's going to lead me down this path. And, I'm going to really want that. I can feel that already. I want that, which means I get that. So I get that, and then I want this, and then I get that. And you just keep going with it. All right, what's on top? Position of the connection. Come the fuck on. It's time. It's time. I'm not pulling specifically on the soulmate cycle, but I know because that's the energy that I put out on this channel. That's what I've been pulling on. It's time for that to happen. It's time for the soulmates to come together. It's time for contracts to be fulfilled. Things that we agreed upon. Things that, again, it's things that have already happened. Signed, sealed, delivered. It's a done deal. It's done. It's time to realize that it's done. No more of this fretting and worrying. And is it going to happen? You want it because it happened. Realize that. That's how you get the energetic alignment. That's how you shift yourself into place. Otherwise, you're living in the illusion. And it's actually happening. It's happening all around you. You just can't see it. And that's okay. Because everything is pointing you to seeing that. Everything else that happens when you're not seeing your manifestation, everything else that you're manifesting is pointing you into the direction of seeing it and realizing it, so that it actually is witnessed by you. You can't get it wrong. Everything is guiding you there continuously. You are constantly being called through everything, through every avenue, being called by your higher self, the rest of you, your inner being, into seeing, hey, you did this. You got this, actually. Just recognize it. Tap into the desire. Let everything be guiding you back to desire. Let yourself feel that. Let yourself dwell in that place. Give that desire permission. Focus on it. And know you feel it because it happened already. That's what we're telling you. Because you did it. You did this. Check out this thing that you did that is so delicious to you. Check it out and enjoy it and bask in that. Look at what you created. That's what that desire is telling you. Look at what you created. How magnificent is this? This is awesome. We're fucking loving this. It's yours. It's yours. It's done. Know that. That's what the desire is saying. You got it all. You already have it all. It is all there. You've already made it. You've already received it. You got everything you need. And I mean that. You received everything you need. Do you hear that? You did it. Not only did you create it, you received it. It's done. It's time to just enjoy it. It's time to fucking party. It's time to have fun with this receiving of bring on all of the delicious stuff that I have made. And every time I feel a desire, I go, oh my God, I made something else and it's awesome. And I'm enjoying that. I get to enjoy that. I've already enjoyed it. This is like the more intense version, the trickle down, where it pools and becomes more powerful. But I already did it. What's in the soul? Look at these cards. The Fool. New journey, new you, new ascended you. I am calling that this Fool has passed the world. We are in a new cycle where we start to get this. We start to get the hang of this. We start to understand. We start to feel inside the shifts, oh, that's how I look at this, and I feel, and it feels different. And it's a little scary because it feels different, but it feels right. And I'm trusting what feels right to me now. I'm trusting what feels good. Ego, the mind, it'll step in front of it. It'll still talk its shit. I know that. But I know I can't ever lose this. Even if I lose sight of it, it's not gone. I can always feel my way back here. Even if for a while I just have to sit in the anxiety and allow it to be. You know what? I can realize that anxiety is telling me how much I care about my guidance system, how much I want to be in constant connection with the whole of me and receiving this streamed guidance, how much I want that. And now guess what? I know that because I want it, it's already happened. I get that. So I got nothing to stress about here. I can just let this be. I can let anxiety be. I can let whatever it is be. Page of Cups. Message from the universe. I just get new. I just get fresh. A breath of fresh air. A tall glass of water, even though it's got a fish in it. There's new love coming in, new things that you love, all kinds of things. Yes, soulmate connection, that's here. It's time for the soulmates to come together. It's time for the approach to happen. It is time for this guy to come swaggering up in his poofy pants and his cup of fish and say, hey baby, I like the cut of your jib. I like your style. I've been eyeballing you for a while from the corner over there. Behind the bar, I see you're drinking a Cosmopolitan or whatever it is. How about a fish? It's goofy, I know, but it's fun. There's a playfulness here. It is not, look, this is not Knight of Wands energy. This is not fuckboy. I know I kind of played it that way, but it's fun. It's like we're playing this game, we're playing this role, and really it's because we know we're supposed to play. Because we're enjoying this, because there is this level of safety here, and we're just gonna have fun with this. I want to have fun with you. I want to play with you. Let's get creative. Let's be playful together. Let's create together. Creation is playful. It is fun, and it involves a tremendous amount of desire. There's desire there. Bigger than it looks, perhaps, on the surface. Let that desire come through. It's okay if it feels new and weird. We're growing into this. We're just going, okay, here we go. We're going with it. Appearances can be deceiving. Pay attention. Pay attention to ego. Pay attention to what ego says it wants versus what the heart wants. At first glance, ego might reject this guy, right? At first glance, ego, because it's trying to keep itself safe, because it's operating on a past version of self, one that was small and diminished, it's going to find reasons to push it away. Because that's what ego does. That's what the mind does. This is new, unfamiliar territory. And in fact, it's something we really want. And that is all unfamiliar to the mind. It doesn't fit the bill, the program. This wasn't a part of the plan. That kind of thing. But it's right, and the heart knows that it's right. The harder ego argues against it, the more the soul just sits there and goes, yeah, but I want it. Yeah, I want it. I really, really want it. I just do. I do so bad. So much. Fuck. With every fiber of me, I want this. And the brain going, but what? Because it's afraid. Because it doesn't understand. Because it can't understand love. It can't understand that the heart, the soul, wants what it wants. And we're being taught here too how to really trust that, to tap into that feeling of want, that feeling of desire, and to feel how good it feels and say, yeah, I want this. I want to feel this. Whatever this is, I want to feel it. I do. So brain, I can see you're just trying to keep me stuck. You're operating on an old false premise. Just a bunch of bullshit, really. And I get it. We did that stuff in the past because we didn't feel safe. And we were trying to feel safe. But that's not what we do anymore. Because we are safe. And we know that, no matter what. And I'm not going to let the fear talk me out of this. The mind will give you 1,000,001 reasons not to go for something that you fucking want. The soul will never reason with you. It will never give you an explanation. It will never justify itself. It just wants and keeps wanting and beams that desire just steadily. And again, the mind can obscure it with anxiety, with all of its chatter, but it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. It just gets stronger. The soul just beams even harder. Whatever the mind is trying to talk you out of, recognize that it's a con man right now. That's devil energy. The truth does not live in the brain. Your brain is not to be trusted, especially in the realm of emotion, which really is our guidance system. So just don't listen to the mind. Unless something feels right, unless you have a thought that connects with your heart, and you go, oh yeah, that's it. If it's anything other than that, it's not guidance. It's not anything. It's just old chatter. It's old energy. It's other thought forms and stuff floating through. It's not you. You can just ignore it. Accept that it's there. Acknowledge it. We're not trying to distract ourselves from it. We're just looking at it with awareness and saying, yeah, I see that. Doesn't mean anything. So I don't have to do anything. I just let this be. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just going to sit and breathe and know there's old energy playing out here. So I'm going to feel it. I'm going to let that happen. That's going to keep happening. That's happening big time right now. That's been happening for me. There's a lot of old shit. The way we used to do things, the way we did things the last time, all of the stuff from the past. Yep. Doesn't have any bearing on the present, on reality, on the truth. None of it is related to the truth, even. It's just there. It's coming through. So we keep letting it come through. Yep. I hear you. None of that matters. It's fine. Final outcome position. Follow the heart. That's all I want to say. Follow the heart. Do it for you. Do the thing that feels good to you, regardless of what other people think. In fact, it's very often going to be in spite of what other people think. It's going to be the thing that either is or is perceived to be by ego, by the mind, going to rock the boat. It could upset other people. What about the backlash? What are other people going to say or think? It doesn't matter. It does not fucking matter. Let them have their experience. Let them have whatever their emotional experience is. If you trigger somebody, that's a gift. That is a gift to them. You're welcome. And the best thing that you can do for them, and most importantly for yourself, is be your authentic self. Is say, hey, fuck it, I don't care. This is what I feel. And I know what I feel. And I trust what I feel more than anything anybody says, including my brain, which is not me. I trust what I feel more than what I think. I trust what I feel, what I know to be true, more than any of this conditioned pattern stuff that's all based on fear and therefore control. It fears the unknown. It fears rejection, fears abandonment. Primarily those things. There's a fear of failure that's tied in there. It's all kind of the same jumbled mess. Is there a thing that I'm not doing because of that fear? Do that thing. Do that thing. Throw caution to the wind. Chuck it out the window. We're not here to be cautious anymore. We're here to be big and bold and brave and fucking reckless. And the universe, the rest of you, cheers you on and backs you up 1,000%. The bigger you get, the bigger your support, because you're calling more of it in. You're allowing more of it in. So get bigger, get bolder. It's time. Let's clarify. What time is it? 3 o'clock almost. All right. Look at that. I can't fucking... It's time. It's time. Go for it. Just go for it. Go for it for you. And know that your desire is right. And it is fulfilled. Already, that's why you want it. Just go for it. Stop putting the block on the feelings. Stop leaving yourself out of your own life. Like, I resonate with this. Take the action. The only thing holding us back is fear. The fear is not a thing to be listened to. It's deceptive. It will talk circles around you again and say, this is why you don't want to do it. It will inject. That's what fear is. Devil energy, low vibrational energy, injects fear, injects anxiety to make it feel like, oh, you don't want to do this thing. To make it feel icky. It's just layering something on top of your actual guidance system. So you get uncertain and you go, oh, I don't actually know anymore. It's trying to trick you. It's trying to trick you. It's not evil, it's not bad, it's not malicious. It's there to test you. It's there for you to learn how to face fear. Feel into your guidance and do it anyway. To expand. It is a limit. It's pushing on you so that you can move beyond it. To help you know, to help you increase in your power, in your expansiveness, in your confidence, your trust, your faith. And to know your boundlessness. It's time to move. Yeah. It's time to move. Go. And also, the more you push towards the light, the more boldly that you follow that light and that feeling. This is not making darkness into an opposition, but the stronger that gets, the stronger that shadow gets, The more you push towards the light, the more boldly and authentically you shine. The brighter you shine, the more intense your shadow becomes. It's got to. You got bigger. It's still got to, if it's going to help you keep growing, then it's got to grow with you, or it's not going to be able to oppose you. Bless that. That is your partner. That is your friend. That is your greatest ally, teaching you how to continuously expand, giving you that experience. Let's talk about the Two of Cups here. Why is the Two of Cups here? Get everything off of this. Yeah, it's all coming up. It's all coming up. I want to say pick the one that feels the most overwhelming. In a positive way. How do I express that? Again, be guided by intuition. Let intuition guide your choices here. It's not the obvious choice in terms of appearance. Again, it's the one that feels right. Trust the one that feels right. And very often that will be the one that mind rejects the hardest. That the mind will come up with whatever reasons that it's not going to work, or you shouldn't do it, or you don't actually want it. It will lie in all of those ways. It will talk you out of it. Follow that trail. Watch where it goes. See how it all ties back to fear. See how the mind will tell you, no, you don't want this. Why? Because it doesn't fit, and other people wouldn't get it, and therefore you're rejected, or it's not the way we used to be. It's not what we thought. We didn't predict this. And therefore we have no control, and it's scary, and we're afraid of that. Or it's too much. It feels like too much. It's too intense. There's too much feeling here, and that's dangerous, and we got to stay safe, and there's fear underneath there. See how the mind will try to talk you out of a choice into a different direction, and that it's all based on fear. Every single time it's based on fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the unfamiliar, fear of rejection, fear of failure. Whatever it is, it's fear. Fear is not a thing to be followed. Follow the heart instead. Do the thing that feels the scariest. Come on. Come on. That. I got nothing else to say there. Two of Cups on Two of Cups. It's time. It's time for this to happen. For the deep, true soul connections to come together. I'm not fucking shitting about this. Deep spiritual connections. This is for a higher purpose. Yes, it is. It's what you want. It's what you want. It's what you desired. And that is the higher purpose. Is teaching us the validity and the importance of our desire. That is held in the highest regard by spirit, by source, that's how creation happens, and it's this whole trickle-down effect. We learn that, we start resolving all of this past karma, having to do with unworthiness. We're balancing all of this energy. We start shifting our internal realities dramatically, which is shifting not just our external reality, but combined reality. This is a part of the creation of New Earth. It all ties together, and it all stems from the claiming of desire as right and righteous, and then realizing not only is it right, not only is my desire right, my reception of it, my feeling of it means it's done. That's why I desire it, because it's already mine, because spirit, because the rest of me is already living this life. And there's nothing else I got to do except go, oh, that's mine. That's right. I did that. That's mine. These are deeply spiritual connections. These are connections that have taken thousands and thousands of years to come together. Because they're that powerful. Ancient soulmates. I'm talking from the first. From the get-go. We're completing this cycle. We are reuniting. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles. All the power is in your hands. The power of perspective. You know what you want and you know what you don't. You don't know it from here. You know it from here. This is where discernment happens. The sword of truth lives in the heart. Yeah. If it doesn't fit, it's done. There's just not even a question. It's not a consideration. If it doesn't feel good, it's out. What's on top? King of Cups. Let it spill. Don't be afraid of overdoing it. Do it to the extent that feels good to you. Do it as much, as big and as grand as feels good to you. And know that you're worthy of receiving that in turn. If you desire that, if you give in that way, that's the way that you receive. What you give is what you receive. Know that. It's time to go big or go home. Because when we go big, it keeps getting bigger. Going bigger and bigger and bigger. It's time to know our expansiveness, the expansiveness of emotion, the depth and breadth of emotion, diving into it, knowing that everything that you dreamed, everything that you desired it because it's real. Trust that, follow that, move with that, flow with that. Every time you feel desire strike, look at it. That's your signal. That's your flare shot up from your highest self. Every time you feel a flare of desire, that is direct communication moving through you from your higher self of where you are, of the life that you're living. Saying you want this, you created it, it's yours, you have it, realize it right now. And follow this feeling. Forget everything that's up here. We're moving into more consistent communication with soul self. Trusting the emotions, letting them flow. Again, letting them become bigger. Realizing that any limitation we've ever placed, it didn't come from the soul. It came from ego. It came from the mind. It came from this smaller self that was afraid. We're not listening to that anymore. It's still there. It's going to do that. But we're on to this. More and more clearly, we're getting it. We're going, yeah. Okay, what else, soul? Yeah, I hear you. I'm listening. When things light you up, or when things trigger you, because I feel that too. When there's a strong surge of emotion, pay attention to that. Just had the Five of Pentacles flip out. We're not leaving the soul out of this anymore. Just came back. Why is the Fool here? Because the soul tells the truth, and we know that. The soul tells us where to go, and we're learning that. That it is always on our side, that it is worth listening to that above anything. We're not shutting that down anymore. It's coming through louder and louder. We're learning how to follow in faith, to follow our inner guidance everywhere we go, to always have one ear listening to this, always listening, always connected. Even when there's chatter over here, it's okay. We let there be chatter. We're always listening. We're letting the chatter tune us back in fact, to the soul. We are being guided. Hanged Man. It's very mysterious. We're learning the magic of this, the magic of having a guidance system, of being in constant contact with your highest self, what that's like. And bats are very sensitive, right? They have an incredible sense of hearing, to be able to use sort of sonar. That's what we're being taught. We're being refined in our senses to learn how to still and go within and really listen to what it is that our guidance is telling us in each and every moment. Each and every moment, that's what it is to be fully awake, to be constantly listening to the soul, which speaks to us through emotion, but it primarily speaks to us through desire. That's what it's guiding us always back towards, is desire. Where is the good feeling here? Follow the good feeling, follow the desire. If I feel a bad feeling, bad. If I feel an uncomfortable feeling, what is that telling me about the positive feeling? First of all, I just accept it. I accept this is here. This is not wrong. There's nothing bad. I haven't lost track of myself or my guidance system. This is a part of it too. I'm integrating all of this into my guidance. What does this emotion tell me? My response to this situation. What does it tell me about my desire? How do I get to the soul contact at the center of this? Because it's there. And a part of that desire is learning how to get here. It's complex. Your desire is intricate. It's not one thing. It's multifaceted. What we want is to learn how to get better at this, which means we need the practice. Because we want to feel our agility. We want to feel our ability increasing. That's where confidence comes from. If you're just like born good at it, then it's not that exciting, is it? There's no real satisfaction in that. You're not learning anything. You don't get the juice of discovery and learning and growing and improving and getting better. You don't get to experience improvement if you start there. We are learning how to listen to the soul more carefully, more clearly, and the satisfaction of that, realizing that we can do this all of the time. We can be living in contact with guidance, with guidance, with our guidance system. That's alignment with the authentic self. That's being your authentic self. You become this blended being. All right, Page of Cups. Tell me about the Page of Cups. Same message. Don't let ego. There's multiple offers coming in. Because the more that you allow, the more that you're attracting. The more your discernment system is put to the test, your guidance and discernment. And it's not a test, it's a challenge. It's an opportunity to say, okay, here we are. Are we gonna, we have this decision to make. Are we gonna make a decision based on ego? Or are we gonna make a decision based on the heart, on the soul? Are we gonna pick what on the surface looks good because it satisfies the conditions of the mind? It checks these boxes and so it feels safe and contained? Or are we going to follow the thing that doesn't fit in the box, that has no precedent? It's unprecedented. The thing that does not feel safe, that feels scary and fucking amazing. Yeah. Twice in this reading. Oh, follow the feeling, follow the sweetness. Follow what tastes good. What feels good, what nourishes the soul. Again, not the mind, and the mind will cover that shit up, but just keep refocusing. Saying, I know, ego. I know you have all of these ideas of what you want, and all of them are based on security and safety and pleasing other people and fitting in so you don't feel rejected and all of that shit, and none of it is actually a want. None of it is actual desire. It's all just running from fear. You want the things that keep you away from fear, that keep you feeling safe. Those are not wants. That's not a want. That's not what that is. That is not desire. You know what desire is? It just feels fucking good. It feels so good. It's delight. It is a thing that just delights you. It just lights you up inside, and you don't need a reason. You just love it. It's just fucking perfect the way that it is, like it was made for you, because it was. Because it was. Exactly that. That's how you make the choice. That's how you make the choice. Pick the thing that feels like it was made for you. The thing that the mind is going to say, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit what the mind thought and expected and all of the, it doesn't fit. It fits. It fits in here. It fits perfectly. It fits like it was molded from your own heart because it was. Because that's exactly it. It's an energetic match. It is a perfect reflection of what you asked for, putting that energy out into the universe. That was reflected perfectly and is being delivered to you. And it feels just right. It feels like home. It feels like the thing that you have longed for more than this lifetime. It feels like everything you've ever wanted. Focus on that. Trust that. Bask in that, in the delight, in the deliciousness of that. Yeah. Ego fights this tooth and nail because it knows this is the end. This is the end of many small identities. Identities that, again, didn't want something because it felt unsafe. So they built up their own, there was this own identity of what I want, what I desire in life, who I am, these identities that were all constructed from a false foundation that was not actually you. It was all fear. It was all projection. It was all conditioning. It was all this other stuff that was never even you. It was never what you wanted. It was never you to begin with. This is you. This tells you more about yourself than any of that. And so all of that stuff's going to fight it because it's dying, because it falls apart, because the towers come down. All of these perfectly erected towers that the mind has built, they all come crumbling down. So there's going to be fear. It's going to be injected. Just watch it. Just let it happen. Know that that fear doesn't mean anything about you. Fear doesn't mean anything about you. All it means is there is an old identity. There is an old idea of self that was never yourself. It was constructed by fear. And it's falling apart now. That's it. It was constructed to keep the feeling of fear away. So of course, now that it's falling apart, the fear is there. And it's going, no, no, no. Build me up again. Feed into me. Just watch it. Feel the fear. Sit with the fear. Breathe. It's that same sensation of, okay, this is happening. I'm feeling this. I'm going to keep feeling it. We're just sitting with this. I know this fear doesn't mean anything other than an old part of self is dying. Let me hold your hand with you as you pass over, as you transition. I understand that's scary. Be the death doula of ego, of these small selves. Hold ego's hand as it is passing over, passing away. And say, I know, I feel you. It's okay. It's okay. Fear. It's a repeating message. And it is again. Face the fear. Give to the thing that fear is telling you to walk away from. Whatever ego is telling you to be afraid of, don't listen to it. Sit there, watch it, acknowledge it. There's magic on the other side of this. On the other side of this is true growth, is true stability, long-lasting, long-term. The Ace of Pentacles is the pinnacle, the best you can get. The very best thing is on the other side of that fear. Look at that. What's on the other side of that fear? The feminine. The Empress energy, balance within the soul, contact with the soul, expanded emotion, expanded experience, expanded expression. Overdo it, overfeel it. It's only over because you're crossing a limit within the mind. That's what makes it feel like you're going over, because the mind has put a limit there that you're now stepping beyond. Do that. Do exactly that. That is unlocking feminine energy within us, and that ripples out into the collective. That's putting us in closer alignment with our soul, with our authentic self. That's increasing the intensity and beauty of our experience. All of it. Resistance can't stop this. It's weak. The internal conflict that's here, it's nothing. It's a pile of toothpicks. It doesn't stop this, doesn't stop anything. Notice when there is internal resistance to the overfeeling or the overdoing of something. Just notice that. Recognize what that means. The mind has put a limit. That's why there's resistance there. Flow around it. Do it anyway. Allow it to be. We're not fighting it. We're just going around it. We're not letting it stop us. We're not letting it define us. We're not letting it restrict us. Because we're bigger than that. No more being guided by ego and its fear. We'll listen to it. We'll watch it. And then we'll turn to the soul and say, what do you have to say? Because I know that's a bunch of hooey. So what do you think, soul? The soul's going to say, yeah, go for it. Yeah, do it. Oh my God, yeah, do it. It feels so good. Feel so good about it. It's going to feel so good. It feels so good. Just do it. Go for it. Jump in head first. I was going to say feet first. No. Head first. Final message from the universe. Tired of fighting this. What's underneath? Yeah. Tired of fighting the feeling. The secret to all of it is letting that feeling flow. No longer keeping it back. No longer keeping it under lock and key. Keeping it limited. Keeping it on the shelf. Let the feeling flow. Feel more than you thought was possible. Let it just keep rippling through you again. If you feel like you're going to explode, then let yourself explode. That's what I've been feeling. Like I'm going to just pop multiple times a day. And I notice that the mind is fighting it and saying, calm down, keep it down, keep it in. And then in those moments I go, you know what? I think I'm just supposed to burst. I think I'm supposed to explode. I think I would like to do that now, please. Let me just let this rip through me. And I let it. I let the energy wash through me. Whatever's here, I'm inviting it in fully. Ah! You know how many times I've been fighting off invisible foes in the past week, 2 weeks? Just laughing, screaming, jumping up and down. Let the energy rip through you. Whatever is felt, let it out. And let it out all the way. Put no limit on it. Put no specific expectation of what it is or what it's going to look like. Just say, I'm here, let it happen. Let it out. Let it out. Stop pushing it away. The reason we push it away is because we don't trust it. We think the victory is in keeping it in. It's not. Let it out. It's been there a long time. The way forward is the expression of this emotion. Yeah. And it's the path towards everything we want. We're walking away from the emotional suppression. No longer committing emotional violence against ourselves, which is keeping your emotions in. You have permission to say things that other people don't want to hear or might not want to hear. There's a lot of feeling here. Whatever it is, the victory is not keeping it in. The victory is in letting it out, and letting it out all the way. I mean that. Not playing it safe, not a little bit, not diplomatically. No, we're not trying to phrase this in a way so that it's accepted. No, we're stating it exactly as it is. What you feel, you state it. You say it. As clearly and as closely to what you feel, as authentic an expression as you can make it. That's it. We're going all the way in. We're not just dipping a toe in the water. We're jumping in head first. That's the way forward. That is where the victory is. No more keeping stuff under lock and key. No more keeping it shut down because we're afraid of it being too much, scaring somebody. No. Be bigger. Be bolder. Be too fucking much. You're not. You're just expanding. And if anybody perceives you as that way, guess what? You're triggering them into expanding too. This is the message. This resonates powerfully with me. So powerfully. And it is so beautiful to watch the universe do this. I don't pull these cards, the universe does. And I'm learning more and more to trust that too. And to trust my feelings. This is my experience. I do intend that it resonates with you. And I would love to know if so, how. Leave me a comment. Like, subscribe, if you feel so inclined. None of that matters. All that matters is that you feel and you let the feeling flow. That's what I'm doing here. And I am so fucking satisfied with that. With being bigger. With loving harder. Being more boldly myself. especially when the mind says it's too much. That's when I know I'm gonna do that. If you think it's too much, that's where I go. I go into it. I go deeper. I go bigger. I outdo myself. Whatever too much was last time that I surpassed, I'm doubling it. My growth is exponential. My growth of self in self, which is love. So I'm doing more of that. More than ever. And then even more. This is the message. I'm gonna go drink that cold, probably now, tea. Have a fucking fabulous day. Have the best day ever. And no, you got this. You so got this. I cannot overstate how much you got this. So get out there and do it. Have a beautiful day. Always and always, in every vector of time and space. You rock. You're a badass. You are killing it, divine deliberate creator. Making all this great stuff and getting everything you want, and I fucking love you.